Hello Waco, this is Mr. Arrett, and in this video we're going to be doing a little introduction to Google Calendar. Now, with your Google accounts through Waco, you all have access to Google Calendar, and it can be a great tool to help you stay organized and help you remember things like things you need to get done or places you need to be or special appointments that you have. So I just wanted to show you real quick kind of the basics of how to do calendar and how to make a new event in your calendar. So first of all, how do you get to it? As with any Google apps, if you click on kind of, people call this thing the waffle up here, it brings up all the apps that you've got available to you, and the calendar is the one that says calendar, and it says a 31 on it like it's a date. So this is what the layout of the calendar looks like, and you can change that view from day to week to month. You can see I don't have much on. Oh, right now we'll go find when we've got a week that I had some stuff. So you can see I've got appointments here through week. I tend to like to look at it on the month so you can kind of see it laid out in front of you what all you have to do, but just know that you can change those different views in there. So, and then you can go around and you can click on different days as well, and it will bring up, so I just clicked on today's date, and you can see like the appointments that I have today on here. So how do you create a new event, or why would you want to do this? Well, if you use this in conjunction with your phone, then you can get reminders sent to you. I mean, you can set it up so you get reminders sent to you by email and things too, or that they'll just like pop up in the corner of your computer. But personally, I think it's most effective when it's linked up with your phone, and I'll have a separate video available for how you put your Waco account on your phone too, in case you don't already have that set up. But then you can get your emails and your calendar notifications and things on your phone, and it's really handy. So basically, it's really simple to create. Is you just come over here and click create, and then you change. I would start by changing the date right away to whatever it is. So personally, I have a meeting that's going to happen on September 17th, so I just changed that to the 17th, and my meeting is going to be from 9 to 2, so I'm going to change that, and then I'm going to add my title, EA Tech Meeting. Okay, and then honestly, I could just be done there and click save, and it would be all done. But you can see there's a few other different things that you can do with this. One that's really handy is you can add guests. So I could invite, let's say, my wife was going to go with me. I could go ahead and type her in, and I could invite her to that event or to that meeting. So you could try inviting a friend to a meeting if you want. The reminders is probably the biggest thing that you would mess with here, and that's if you click on the reminder, you can set a time for when it will send you a reminder. By default, it pretty much sends it to you like right at the same time that you make the appointment, so it'll pop up and remind you, but we can change it so it'll send you another reminder on there. And then you can also set up different things too, as far as like, does it repeat? Is it going to be an everyday thing? Is it going to be an every Friday thing, or something along those lines? So you can set those different options up. You can also go to more options down here, where it'll bring up kind of like, you can type out details, you can add locations. You can attach Google Docs to it if you're going to use a Google Doc at, say, like a meeting or something along those lines. So, oh, and here's our notification settings. So I can have one, I can have multiple. So here's one 10 minutes beforehand. That's the default. I can add another one if I wanted for it to remind me, say, like 1 day beforehand, so I didn't forget the day before, and I could make sure I was planning for that. I could go ahead and set that in there. So where might you use this? Well, if you have, say, a project that's coming due, you might set up an event that says that you have a project due in science on Wednesday at 10 a.m., and you might set up reminders so it reminds you, Every day it reminds you that you need to work on that. Maybe you set it up so that it reminds you right when you get home at night. So you know that you need to work on that, or maybe during Warrior Success it will remind you. So that's the basic gist of a calendar meeting, and then I'm just going to go ahead and click save, and now you can see that has been scheduled on my calendar. So it's available for me to use. Now Google Calendar can do a lot more than this. You can share calendars with people. So you could share a calendar with your family so they know what's going on. Anytime you're in a Google Classroom class, if a teacher sets an assignment date, it is automatically put on your Google Calendar, which is pretty cool. We have an in-house Waco calendar that the teachers share calendar events. So there's really a lot more to it, but that's the basic gist of how you get started with it. And again, I would start using this. It's a great habit to get into, and it'll really help you out, especially later in life when when you're meeting with a bunch of people and you have to be a bunch of different places. It can be very helpful, but it might even be helpful to you in managing your classes and your assignments and your athletic events and all those things. So if you need more help with this or have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, I'd say go ahead and try to set yourself a reminder to practice some calendar entries.